a priest must sit on his watch, and he is a custodian of secrets and the will of God per time and per season for kings, rulers, and for the territories that the Lord sets him over. Habakkuk was standing on his watchtower. What did the Lord say to him? The Lord actually now gave him words of judgment for the Babylonians. So it is literally, he was set over that territory, and the Lord saw him as a watchman, a prophet, an intercessor, a priest, and he was able to actually speak the words of God, give God's counsel, God's own stance concerning a set of people at the specific time that God needed him to say that. In a time of crisis, as a priest and as a prophet, your role is to bring the counsel of God. Your role is to bring the divine counsel of God. What is the Lord saying? You bring guidance, you bring instruction by what the Lord is saying to you. The Lord was saying to Samuel, or the Lord was saying that he was going to raise faithful priests. But the faithful priests were people that were going to be diligent with the Lord's own heart. They were going to be people that will be diligent concerning what the Lord himself wants to do. We need to understand that our loyalty should always be to what the Lord's will is per time and per season. It's just what God wants to do that we have to be concerned about. It has to be magnified in our hearts and in our minds. If we put it in context, maybe the Lord has asked you to say a word to a certain person in politics, and you go there and you say certain things, and then maybe a couple of months after, you see that things are not happening the way that you said it, and you go and you start apologizing. You go and you start saying, sorry, I don't think it was the Lord. Or you go and start, maybe somebody comes and brings a large sum of money and says, come, if I pay you this, you say what I want you to say. A priest and a prophet has to constantly take the stance of God. We must not get carried away. We must live by the altar and fight to stay dead, so that we will only take the Lord's stance and the Lord's stance only.
A prophet brings perspective to the workings of God in the spirit. You are so engulfed with the mind of God, you don't consider royalty. And it's not as if you do not honor, but you are coming from a place whereby a message has to be delivered. God is raising him for himself a prophetic people. The kind of people he wants to raise cannot be people that desires what the king has to offer. Remember, he said in Malachi, he said, I will sit as a purifier of silver, and I will purge the priests until they are able to offer an offering in righteousness. God is doing something with us, and he wants to raise prophetic people that are able to declare the word of the Lord as they have heard it. Well, I'm going to lie to you if I tell you that there won't be fears. There are going to be a lot of fears, because you will be dealing with people who are in authority. And as a matter of fact, that means we will be dealing with people who can manipulate the laws to be against you. I'm saying that God is trying to acquire a people with us that they are not even careful about their own life. What Mordecai told Esther, he said, you are raised for a time as this. In case we are looking around and we are saying that, oh, whatsoever is going on in this land is, and God is speaking to us, he said, you are raised for a time as this. You should not be part of those who are complaining. We should be part of the people that is speaking over the land. Listen, the people can vote kings in, the people can support kings. I need you to remember this. As a prophet, you don't need anybody to vote you in and to support you. God chooses his own prophets. That's why we tell someone, he said, no, they did not reject you, they rejected me. He takes the responsibility for the prophet. He told Jeremiah, before you were born, I knew you. Before you were formed, I anointed you a prophet. So that you don't need the endorsement of any man to to regulate or to function in the prophetic. That's why the prophetic ministry is difficult. I cannot anoint any man a prophet. You can sanction a man and commission him as a pastor, as a teacher, even as an apostle. But the prophetic ministry, God has to put you there, because the audacity of the prophetic ministry cannot be taught. It cannot be taught. So when you are truly functioning in 100% alignment in the prophetic ministry, those boldness is directed towards the right reasons, and it is to bring the heart of the people back to God. God will judge any prophet that honors a king more than he deserves at the expense of God's heart.